So it is official, we are back home from Fort William. We've been riding the World Cup track. I nearly fucking died. Okay. Oh my god, I nearly fucking died. Absolutely the best place ever to ride. I love it. Fort William was nothing short of amazing, but we are home and the e-bike is beaten up. The electric bike, the EMTB, the Specialized Kenevo, is feeling sorry for itself. Also, this crash happened. I did think it wouldn't be that bad, but it's ended up being a pretty sore knee. So I've not ridden in 10 days. I'm hoping to be out next weekend. That leaves us with the perfect opportunity today to mod the MTB in multiple ways. Now, we're going to be doing a few hacks in today's video. We're going to be doing a few mods in today's video. And we're going to be doing a little bit of servicing in today's video. Sit down, grab a brew, enjoy the mods. Let's get straight into this. We're going to cut my handlebars down. Perfect time to let you guys know that we have dropped a brand new deal on OWNA right now. Free cap with any hoodie or t-shirt. We've got a massive restock. GTR hoodies, loads of new basic hoodies, loads of oversized t-shirts, and you get a free cap with every single hoodie or t-shirt. Go to the link in the description and go and check it out. Make sure you pick your favorite cap, your favorite hoodie, or your favorite t-shirt, and you get the combo deal. If you want to find us easily, just type in OWNA on Google and we're right at the top. Appreciate the support on the brand. Make sure you add your free cap with every order. I currently ride uncut Berg Tech Ride High 50s. So when you're watching my POV content and my bars look massive in the clips, it's because they're 50mm rise. I know some other brands do 50mm rise bars, but the Berg Tech ones are smashing. I love them. However, I have been wanting to cut my bars down for quite some time. So we're going to start today's mod episode. We're going to take these bars off right now. So we're starting today's episode with my toolbox, which is in the back of my car at all times. Now I'm doing a lot more riding. Always got all these tools in the back of my car. I would actually recommend getting yourself a sick set of tools. If you're out riding a lot, there's nothing worse than borrowing tools all the time. Get yourself a sick set of tools and a multi-tool for in your pocket when you're riding. Pretty cool. This is the skinniest little Allen key ever, and this is going to go underneath here and undo. It's the control for the remote for this. Jeez, the death grips are off. I have to be honest, since converting back to death grips, I've been a very happy guy. I don't know what it is. I think it's the flange up against my hand like this. I really like it when I'm riding, so absolutely sick. Jeez, the death grips are off. Which means we are ready to cut bars down. So this right here is the current setup. They're Josh Bryceland's signature Berg Tech Ride High 50s, and I've got an OWNA donut sticker on there. 800mm wide, as you can see. 50mm rise, blah, 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 blah. However, they do have these markings here. And I'm going to risk it all and I'm going to cut them right down to the shortest, so I'm going to take that much off. Absolutely destroyed my right knee. Should have made a brew about an hour ago. The struggle is real. Bars are off, nearly. One more bolt. There you go. How crazy is this? There's splattered bugs all over my bars from having it on the roof rack of my car. So, slightly ghetto setup right here, but it will work. At some point I am going to consider putting this more as a detailing / bike shop. Obviously I'm starting to ride way more again, that's obvious on the channel, but you don't want stuff like this anywhere near car detailing products. So I might be that I open up the garage again or something like that, I'm not sure yet. So what I'm doing right now, I'm fixing this mount to the side of this timber like this, and then you put the bars in, you tighten it up and it clamps it. Ow, my knee is so sore. And then it's got this little slice on this side here where a hacksaw goes straight in. So let's do this. Beautiful. So the plan is, hold this down with one hand, saw with the other hand. Let's go. Not bad, that was live, real time, as you can see. There's the piece that I've just cut off. However, that is going to be super hot. I think that block actually worked really well. I think in future I'll just leave it on that block. I usually do it in there on my tool cabinet, but it's a mess in there right now, so I'm not even going to show you. However, that is done, that's one side cut down. How I did it, I'll show you. So, through here you can see the bar a tiny bit. I'll show you, as you put it through, you can see the white lines. Oh, hell yeah, that's both sides done. I've been wanting to do that for a long ass time. To a non-mountain biker, you would not think that that and that would make a big difference, but my god, it does. They look sick now. They are looking way shorter. Just taking the extreme sharpness. Looking way cleaner on the ends, as you can see. Nice and blunt, and they look a way better width for me for sure. I used to be like this, now they're a little bit more closed in. So, let's get these bars installed and I'll be right back. So before we get into the next mod on today's episode, I actually want to whack my chesty on and I want to take this for a spin and see how it actually rides. We've cut down handlebars. My new bars feel 10 out of 10. I am absolutely over the moon with the cut down. I couldn't imagine having my bars this wide again. It would just feel weird. So I'm over the moon. My knee's loosening up, which is really nice. And yeah, just absolutely transformed the electric bike. I actually wish I had to cut my bars down way sooner. So I'm just going to go on a fat ride now, and I'll see you guys back at the garage for some more bike mods. Bars feel 10 out of 10, over the moon. Hell yeah. So, back in the garage, ready for mod number 2. Now, I did ride all the way to Halfords whilst I was out then, and I did get some really cheap cloth to clean my bike with. Not my actual bike, but just stuff like headsets and bearings. I used all my microfiber cloths for my car, and they're dear. So I've decided to buy some cheap cleaning cloth. I got a massive roll of it for like a £5. I'm just going to cut a big piece off. Okay, now mod number 2. I've got a sticky dropper post. So if you check this out, this is all the way in on the dropper. I can't really push my dropper down. Comes up pretty slow. It's pretty slow, it's not amazing, it's super sticky. Now, when I was out riding in a Leafin, Alex said, if you undo this cap here, which is full of proper thick dirt, Alex said if you undo this cap anti-clockwise, pull it up, clean it, grease it, your dropper will work again. So I'm taking his word for it. Let's try it. Right here, this is effectively a dropper hack. So there's a lot of play in my dropper as well, but I don't know whether it's because the cable's getting stretched and this isn't doing enough. If you actually look at that seal, it's pretty damn dirty. So we're going to use my new cloth that I got. I'm going to use some of this, which is a bike cleaner that doesn't degrease. A bit on there. It smells lush. The seal on this post. In an ideal world, my bike would be super clean, but it's not. So we're just dealing with it right now. So I'm just cleaning the heavy off this. I used to clean my bike like every single ride, but I noticed how much it was wearing down my parts, so I've started to clean my bike probably every like 5 to 10 rides. He said you undo this top ring. Oh my days, it's quite long. There's a thread in there, as you can see, and he said if you undo that and you pull it up and you grease that, he said it should work. Okay, so my plan is I'm going to use this cloth again. I'm going to use Bike Protect again. I'm going to get all the heavy off here from inside, because there is muck in there, to be honest. So it would be actually pretty sweet to get that out. I also bought from Screwfix this morning some multi-purpose grease. Very hard to find multi-purpose grease, I'm not going to lie. Used to be easy. Is I'm going to use a swab, and I'm going to get some grease out of the swab, like so. And I'm basically just going to put it in there. Re-grease in the dropper. This could go horribly wrong or horribly right. I don't actually know what the answer is. However, it's sticky, it's doomed. I want a Fox transfer dropper anyway, so I may as well give this a whirl. However, I am now gonna pull this down and re-tighten it back on, as you can see. Right, now I'm gonna put it on the seal and I'm gonna let it drop a few times, and then I'm gonna wipe it clean. I just want to really get some grease going on there. Obviously this is a super basic mod. We've got way more exciting mods coming in today's episode, but this is something that I did want to do. Damn! All I'm going to do is take the heavy off. Quite a lot of dirt actually did come out of the dropper post, as you can see there. Quite a lot of dirt actually came out just from droppering it up and down. And then that should be good to ride. That should ride much, much better now. That's a cheeky little dropper hack. Another thing that really helps is silicone shine. Obviously, you've got to make sure it doesn't go anywhere around your disc brakes or anything like that, but just a tiny bit of silicone shine on your seals just hydrates them. As you can see, seal is looking dialed on the dropper now. In today's episode isn't really a hack, it's more of a must. We've got to get these blue pedals off. They suck. I had to buy these at Glentrez bike park, and it was just one day my pedals snapped that came on the bike. They were the only pedals they had for like cheap enough on the day. Oh my god. Not good. Okay. So, yeah, they're not bad, these pedals, to be fair. They've actually been okay. I've had some good rides with them, but they're just a shit colour for my bike. So I'd rather a sick set of pedals. So, out with the blues. Fucking hell. These are fucking heavy. Woo! There you go. Always a nice noise when a pedal pops off. Second blue pedal. I can't remember the brand of them. I think they're called HT. It says HT on them anyway. I'm not 100% sure. They were like $39.99, little emergency set of pedals, because I cracked one there. So they're just an emergency set. But it was like £100 and something for other ones, or it was like $39.99 for them on the day. However, at home I did have some BergTech pedals on the jump bike, so I'm going to borrow the jump bike pedals, and the jump bike's going to have these blue ones, but I'm going to spray them black because this is my priority bike. So let's go and get the dirt jumper. Let's put the dirt jumper on here. Let's rob its pedals. Get that DJ in the bike rack. The sickest bike ever. Can't believe I'm taking these pedals off, but my electric bike gets rode a lot more than this thing, and it is my priority bike when it comes to the pair. So the better pedals are going on the electric bike, unfortunately. I probably will just order some new pedals for this, but maybe I'd get Hope pedals in that colour or purple. Let's put the blue beasts on the jump bike. Can't believe we're doing this. Shouldn't even be allowed, shouldn't even be legal. Yeah. This is not a dirt jumper video, so we're going to get rid of the dirt jumper. How bad do them pedals look on that bike? My god. We're going to grease these as well, because pedals are so bad for seasoning. You don't even need much, most of it's carried through the thread, but you just want to get a little swab and put a tiny bit of grease on. I kind of wanted to buy grease like a month ago, and I kept refraining from doing it just because nowhere looked like they had good grease in, and then this time I just got over it. I was like, you know what, I'm just going to use any grease that I can get my hands on, because any is better than none at this point. Your right pedal goes on, and lefty loosey is how your left pedal goes on. Okay. Damn! As you can see, the BergTechs are now on, and they're looking pretty insane. The BergTech, I think these are Mark IV pedals. I think you can get Mark Vs these days. but these are Mark IV pedals. This is what I was saying about why I would just get chrome cranks next time, because they just end up this colour anyway, which is mad. But yeah, check it out. So, that right there is pedal mods, pedal hacks, installed, greased, and ready to ride. Hell yeah. So, pedals are on, they look absolutely banging. Now, the next part of today's video is a bit of a weird one. We're getting very technical now. So, this is the most that my brake pulls in. That's full power, that's the most that my brake pulls in. So I run my bike point quite far out and it still goes to there. But, however, this back brake only pulls in to here. Some of you will know that I've been riding Fort William downhill World Cup track, which comes with a lot of braking, and I mean a lot of braking. So, long story short, I went to OWNA. I think that might be the next video, or the last video. I think it might be the next video. I think this is going to go up first. Now, I went to OWNA, and I noticed that there was a crazy screeching noise coming from my disc, and when I checked after Fort William, my pads, I actually kept the pads. This is how my brake pads came back from Fort William. To be honest, it was only really one side. That's how it ended. These were brand new pads before Fort William, and Fort William just destroyed my pads. So as you can see, they're pretty shagged. These pads, they're noisy, screechy. I don't know whether that's just what organic pads sound like. I'm pretty sure they're organic. Yeah, organic pads. So, long story short, anyways, I switched the pads out. But then when I looked, if you can see the two round sections there and there, they're not supposed to be like that. So, long story short, I'm going to make this super simple. My brake pads had worn down. My pistons had pushed tighter. Then when I've put better pads back in, it's too clamped on the disc. So what I need to do is I need to remove the rear wheel so that the disc comes out. I need to put something in and open the pads right up. I'm sat here and I'm wondering how much sense did that actually make. Long story short, I've worn my brake pads out, continued to ride with worn out brake pads, and the downside of that is it's moved my pistons within my caliper too tight. So then when I've put a fat set of pads back in, it's too tight, so it needs pushing back out. That might be simpler. I don't know. Hell yeah. Now, the first thing I am going to do right now is clean this axle, because this is the fastest way to have problems. Axles go so stiff, so you want to clean your full axle off like this. You want to then get some grease, probably quite a bit because it's going on an axle, and you want to spread it all over the axle. So the aim of the game is we're going to use this thing, and I need to get the pistons to open up properly. So as you can see, they do push out if you do that. Okay, so I'm currently taking the pads out because I really want to push these pistons right back. They're doing my head in, and they're not budging. So I'm not going to damage the pads any more than I have already. I'm just going to take the pads off. Yes, well better. Well better. I should have done that in the first place, because that has gone right back in. Check it out. This is my current situation. Massive gap. I've pushed the pistons right back. So the plan is now I'm going to reinstall the pads. When I first pull the brake, it should push the pistons to the right place. Right now. Should be a bit better. Should be a bit better. Oh, God. Hopefully this clamps central. Feels so much better. Check it out. Now it goes right the way back. That's pretty tight now in a good way. I wouldn't want it to go any more. Doesn't quite go as far as my front, but maybe I need new pads in the front. Maybe my pads are actually quite low in the front as well. Yeah, they are looking pretty low. So maybe I'll order some more pads, but that is better. That is actually biting a lot more like a brake should. We are about to start another bike hack. Electric bikes are the best. However, I want to clean behind all the plastics in my motor on both sides. This is going to be a big one, and I mean a big one. Basically, this is sort of like a light service on an electric bike. My motor is absolutely faultless, and I want it to stay faultless. I'm probably not going to undo anything. I'm just going to clean all the ports. I've actually got some of this stuff, which is I've actually got some of this stuff, which is fast drying contact cleaner. And that basically, in short, means it's like an alcohol-based cleaner. So once we get behind all these plastics and have a look inside the Specialized Kenevo motor 2.2, we're going to see wires, we're going to see connectors, we're going to see everything. And the plan is to clean it all with this stuff. This is literally the stuff to clean it with. We're just going to blast all the plugs, plug it all back together, clean all the inside, clean the plastics, get a good clean behind the sprocket, which we never get to do. Yeah, it should be pretty good. It's definitely needed. It's been 6 months riding nearly every week, 2-3 times a week, and I've never done this type of a clean. I've got to pull the sprocket. I've got to use a crazy tool to get the centre off. Should be interesting. There's the other crank arm cracked. So we should be able to do everything on the rack now. Oh my God, that was insane. That goes to show how much this actually needs doing, because look at the state of the back of that. No stuff on there to get it dialed and clean. It's actually greased, which is pretty cool, but actually I think that might be Loctite. I don't know how many of you have ever actually taken a crank arm off. Crank arm is on the floor. This next bolt is a crazy bolt. This is to actually get the access to take the chainring off. Another thing I've got to do is undo this and move this and take my chain off. We've then got to use a puller to pull the sprocket. Okay, so I've got this tool, and I think this might be the tool we need. Yes, it looks like it is the tool that we need. That'll do. The bottom was supposed to move, not that, but whatever. So then I'm going to undo, I'm going to put my rear wheel on open lock, take that chain off. Okay, now oh my God, that was insane. hell. Jeez. All to get that off, which is like a tiny little washer that holds the sprockita. Upon inspection, I am actually glad that I'm doing this today because that is really grimy in there and that will end up creating rust. Plan is to pull this sprocket. Okay, so I brought this in and I actually started prising the sprocket off, but then I realised very quickly that it just literally goes on and comes off. You don't actually have to prise it off. Look at the state of the back of this sprocket. I'm so glad I've done this today. And look at all of that. That's how you break a motor. All that grease, all that grit and dirt gets inside your motor. And that is graphic. So the plan is to clean the back of that, clean the back of that, clean this, take the battery out and clean all the inside. And then on the other side of the bike, you can access all the wiring. We're going to use this shit, which is basically, it greases and cleans at the same time. So, this rude boy. Oh damn, the motor. More of the motor maintenance is on the other side of the motor. This is pretty basic. It's kind of scary working with this stuff though. It's kind of like, oh, I don't want to break anything. But yeah, so that side of the motor's done, check it out. Nice and clean, like brand new. Now I'm gonna do the back of the sprocket using some chain cleaner that I've got. So I'm just gonna drench that. I'm going to let it drench that, let it soak for a minute. I've got muck off chain cleaner. We're going to let that soak and then we're going to reinstall all the hardware on this side. I'm using muck off's chain cleaner. Hopefully is going to make this job a little bit more not as grimy, because this is fucking gross. Tell you what though, I have always wanted to clean the back of my electric bike sprocket. Is sweet. Check it. There's the front, there's the back. Looks dialed. All the grit taken out of there. Sprocket back on, like that. Beautiful. Okay, so we've got a cleaned and re-greased motor cap there. And now we're just threading it back on. Okay. So my motor is nice and tight. Now, I've got to clean the back of this as well, because that is grim. I'm going to use this stuff again. Just got to get all that grime off. It's the one bad thing about mountain biking. It's the best thing about it is it's really muddy and dirty, but it's the worst thing when it comes to service and parts and keeping your bike going. It's not good. Oh. my God. Well, that's 50% of the motor done. It's probably the harder side actually, even though the other side's more tech and intricate. It's getting that sprocket off is just graphic. So let me flip it round, but before we do that, check out how clean this looks for the first time ever. Check it out, looking factory, clean as, everything's dialed and everything's back on. It just looks way better. Look how clean it is in there. Fresh grease, everything's dialed. Should be nice and dialed. So yeah, that's 50% of the motor done. So the plan is now, flip the bike round and do the electrical side of the motor. So, another day, another crank arm. Off there. This plastic tray off. We're going to see what the condition of the inside of the motor is like. Let me bring you closer into the action. Okay, so I'm taking off one bolt. Two bolt. Three bolts. Four bolts, and that should be the whole plastic tray. Now comes off. Oh my God, she's grimy. That is grimy in there. Look at the state of the inside of that. Jesus, if I'd have known this, I would have cleaned my motor more. Look at the state of that. Jeez, so I've just removed the power cable. So I'm going to come back to that in a minute and give that a clean. That's the main power cable. Now I'm going to try and remove this. I'm going to take some more pictures because I ain't about to fuck my E into the bottom one there. That's straight. Now I'm going to be making sure to use the right tools, because you don't want to pull on cables, you want to pull on the end plug. So I'm using these clip pliers delicately to just make sure I pull the plug and not the wire. Yes. Jeez, it's grimy in there. So, check it out in there. So all of this needs cleaning with a good swab delicately around all of these plugs. All that needs cleaning out completely. Pretty manky. I'm not too bothered about the inside of the shell. I don't think there's a point in cleaning that when there's like a hole here at the bottom. As you can see there, that's for water to drain out. But around all these little sections here, definitely needs attention. Fucking hell. That is just insane. A lot cleaner than they were. Jeez, this is fucking grimy. Alright, check that out. Look at that for a visual. This is how grimy all the dirt is around my socket. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use one swab to get all the heavy off. Just out of them sockets. This is like surgery. Jeez. This is not good. I think I might send my motor off to be fully serviced. Okay, now this is the power cable. Jeez. Let's go for the install. All the ports have been cleaned. Cables back in. Them two go behind. This one goes there into the battery. So I don't think I'm gonna waste any time cleaning all of like the back of the motor and the metal and stuff. I think I'd rather send it off to be serviced, but I'm glad I've cleaned the ports when it was that dirty inside the actual motor. Obviously I don't want to do too much spraying in there either, so I think sometimes as long as the important stuff's clean, you're better off leaving the rest alone, I'm thinking. So I've cleaned around this with a brush, as you've seen, so that's all dialed all the way round, and then we've done the other side. So that right there should be a lot more dialed for a long stretch again. The only thing I'm going to do is clean the inside of this port and the battery one. So let's do that. Okay, so I'm using my fast drying contact spray on my charging port. I want to keep this cleaner in the future. I've been so slack with this power cable. This is the cable that supplies power to your battery. It supplies power to your motor from your battery. It supplies power from your battery to your motor. This is probably the most important cable on this bike, and I've just not kept it clean enough. Now that I've done this though, I'll know how much time I've got to set aside next time I want to do it, so I'm happy. I'm happy. Didn't even know that had a Specialized logo in it. It's been that dirty. Very nice. So, check it out. I've cleaned the important part on the battery in there. So that's all dialed and clean. Like so. And then just straight in like that. The beast. The battery bolt is looking better. Time to grease this bad boy and put the battery back in. Battery bolt going back in the battery with a fresh layer of grease on it. Very nice now. So, there is one last piece to clean. I've cleaned the crank arm. This was the inside of the plastic. Now, it's not going to do me any damage to clean this, so I'm just going to clean this right now. Very nice, check it. Looking brand new, second hand. Okay. Last but not least, 4 bolts back in to put the plastic surround on. Okay, so everything's back together. The big question is now, does my motor still work? We're going to walk assist. Yes. That right there, oh my god, looking crusty. Look at my hands. That right there is going to be the end of today's bike mod mechanic episode. I hope you've enjoyed. It's been absolutely sick. I've learned a lot, I've stressed a lot, I've cleaned a lot, I've got up and down a lot, and I've searched for tools a lot. It was graphic to say the least. I hope you've enjoyed today's bike mechanic mod hack style video. Get in the comments below if you've got any ideas for any future upgrades for the bike. I'm thinking a Kashima dropper, a coil shock, and a DH casing rear tyre, potentially even a carbon rear wheel. Get below in the comments if you know anything about what I'm doing. If you've got any parts for sale, if you've got any ideas, you know what to do. I'll see you down there. I've been replying to all my comments. Really appreciate everyone that comments and likes the video. That's absolutely sick. Until next time, this is going to be the end of today's episode. Don't forget, right now on OWNA, you get a free cap with any hoodie or t-shirt. Add your favourite t-shirt / hoodie, add your favourite snapback cap, and it'll deduct to 0. Absolutely sick deal. Go and get involved. Just type us in on Google, OWNA, we're right at the top, or hit the link in the description of this video. Appreciate the support. I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for watching.